one's coming.
Okay, so it is 7:10 and I am declaring the meeting in order. And we always have a set agenda, starting with public comment. Public comment are for members of the public, not members of the committee, and I don't see any, per usual. So public comment has opened and has closed. This does bring us to the minutes, accepting them from our last meeting. I attached them to the notices. Did people have an opportunity to look at the minutes? I can, if you'd like, I can put it up on the screen.
Why not?
Why or why not? Okay.
Why not? Go ahead.
I know. I said why or why not. And there they are.
Because I looked them over briefly and we're good. I think that's the notice.
No, that's the minutes. That's part of the, you'll see what I mean.
Okay, you're gonna scroll down. Okay. There we go.
Part of the minutes is the notice.
User weed inspection. Spring. Okay.
All right, for all those who were in attendance at that meeting, you get to vote on to accepting here. Is there a motion to approve?
I motion we approve.
Second.
Thank you, Mark. Any comments about the minutes? Are they any need to amend them, add to them, delete from them? Seeing and hearing none?
Nope.
All in favor of adoption, by aye or
Aye.
Aye.
or any opposed? And none in opposition. The minutes are adopted unanimously. Okay, Margie's here now, so we can go ahead.
Hey.
All right.
Hi, Margie.
Hello.
What's going on, Marge? Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been years.
Okay. Well, you missed the adoption of the minutes.
That's okay. I trust everybody.
Well, we hope you don't lose sleep tonight because of that.
Oh, trust me, I don't lose sleep because of much.
Hey, way to go.
All right. So that brings us to our treasurer's report without a treasurer. For a change. Let's see. So I'm going to post the link here.
So this is the report that Nicole sent to you, Stephen?
No, it's just a link that people can, presumably is always updated.
Okay. So as far as we know, Nicole has kept it updated as far as we know.
Well, again, we would have known that had she been here too. Let's see.
Well, I know I haven't spent any money. Has anybody else?
No.
I've spent a lot of money, but not.
Well, I haven't spent any of the garden.
I know.
You need to qualify that. You're correct, Marge.
Well, again, according to what this is, we have a present balance, at least in theory, of $2,239.77. However, I will note basically that we do not have a treasurer's report here and we will not vote on its adoption. People still want to see this, or should I take it down?
No, I think it's good because really it's not going to be any different.
Yeah, I think that there's another, I don't know. Let's see, how many of you to, all right, be willing, I don't know. I would ask for Margie.
Can I just?
Oh, wait a minute. Hey, Nicole's coming in. Okay, good.
Hey, can I bring something up too? Because, Marge, we've had at least one person who wanted to be blind copied on the emails, correct?
Yeah.
So in this treasurer's report, we have people's names in these columns. And
Yeah, but it doesn't, Frank, it doesn't have any identifying information like phone numbers or email addresses or whatever. It's just a name and a number. This is not confidential information. This is public information.
Does it go there? Does it go out?
No. Let's be very clear, because on this issue, because I have BCC'd in terms of the notices. But in terms of this is public information. This is a public fund. People pay, monies, collect monies.
Right.
We don't and can't keep it confidential. Okay.
Okay, I mean, I'm just throwing this out here. I'm not arguing it either way. If somebody, let's say, for example, somebody was being stalked.
Yeah, what about, okay.
And this is public information.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just saying, like, if there's a particular person that was worried enough that they would be blind CC'd.
No, but she's only worried.
Frank, I hear where you're going, but I know you're not arguing the point.
No.
There is nothing to argue.
It's more concern than
you can't scrub, nor should you, public information. And to be honest with you, as we look at the names, say, let's just look at Ben or Alyssa, whatever. If they were being stalked, what does this tell any potential stalker? I don't think.
Well, if they were from across the country, it would tell them this person's in Easthampton.
No, but who does this go to?
If you're smart enough.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of know what you mean.
I don't want to go down a rabbit hole with this. It was just something I want to bring up.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Margie.
The concern that the BCC person had was that she would get viruses on her computer.
Okay.
Which is, no, there are lots of reasons and concerns. I got that. And even the BCC wouldn't necessarily change the viruses. But in terms of.
It wouldn't if who was sending the email had a virus. Yeah.
Exactly. That's the point. But Frank, for those folks who say there's personal information I do not want shared, an email address is personal information.
Yeah.
Or phone number, some personal identifier.
Right.
That's what makes that. This doesn't have that. Okay. And it says public records that we couldn't change, frankly, if we wanted to, or shouldn't, I should say. Okay.
Right.
Because the public, that's because we're public that way. Any event, hello, Nicole, are you there somewhere?
Hey.
Where are you?
I'm here.
Oh.
You can't see her? I can see her.
I don't, no, hold on a second.
She has a cool striped shirt on.
Hold on one second. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, okay. Now I see. Well,
hey, Nicole. Hey, how you doing, Nicole?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
okay. Well, Nicole, as it turns out, I waited a bit. I sent out the email yet again, and we've just got to your report.
Awesome.
So I had it on the screen here, but we couldn't, we leave it to you to give the report about, for instance, whether that ending balance is still the same, blah, 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 blah. So I turn to you.
Yeah, so can you toggle to the not the petty cash, the PO and invoices tab, please?
Okay, tell me.
Bottom, Steven, bottom.
Oh,
I see, I got you.
Yeah.
All right, so overall totals of spending for this fiscal year is in column H, row 6.
Okay,
Gotcha.
right there, right?
Right?
$148.
$1,448.52.
Yeah.
Because I have not received any new invoices. So if we go back to the running balance tab,
Gotcha.
so what we see is the 2021 starting balance and the 2021 ending balance of just income. And I have not put anything yet into invoices, right?
Correct.
So if you were to enter 1248.54 into E5,
Yeah.
the math will happen right before your eyes.
Do you want to do that?
Sure, give me a sec to find the spreadsheet.
Okay. By the way, there is another $5 that's been added to petty cash only because I gave out another key, I think, since.
Okay.
And there's one more. We have a new person at A11 now. So I'm assuming I will probably have another key for that person and collect another $5.
Okay.
Awesome, because we'll need some more gas for the mower. Because there's gonna be some mowing happening. Oh yeah. Yeah, I got your back on that, Nicole, if you need that too, by the way.
Thank you.
No problem.
I could use help. It's true.
It's okay. I think we all could.
I know. Well, as I'm sure you folks remember, I started a new job back in June.
Yeah.
And it has dramatically changed my work-life balance.
Yeah. How many hours? Not what the job is, but how many hours are you putting in a week?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Nicole, my proposal would be to add your new salary in column F.
Oh, I like that.
Since there's a new balance here.
I second that motion because
Okay.
No.
all right. So now we have invoices. We had budgeted 2,700 for invoices. Oh, now that I've gotten the
Oh, it didn't automatically give you that value.
oh, it's supposed to be B4,
Are we going to have to do the math?
B5
All right.
minus E5, and I entered a value, except now it's telling me that equals. Why does this not like this formula? Let me try doing this. Minus parameter 2 expects number values. Okay, got it. Hang on one more second.
Okay, no problem.
Now it wants name. Well,
Oh, boy.
so just for my own edification, you could see that the formula E5 equals, okay, that's the problem, B5. I am literally confused why this formula is not working.
Okay, well, let's do it this way, kind of a, so the 12, so the net, if you look at D and E, would be approximately $378, okay? Approximately. And we would take that, and subtract.
I made it happen.
Oh, you did? Yeah, that's about right. Okay, yeah. We'd be subtracting the 378 from the 1369, and that's roughly what it should be.
Mm-hmm.
The 991.
Except that here in B4, the starting balance is B2, the report balance, minus B3, which is the sum of the previous year's invoices paid, which we had lingering, minus 2,700, which is our anticipated budget. So I'm going to remove this because we didn't actually spend.
No, we didn't at all. Yeah.
No.
So I'm going to take this number and replace it with a 0.
Yes, I think that's right. Yeah, I don't think we want the budgeted numbers. That we want actual in this tab. We want actuals. I think, right?
Yeah, the expenditures.
Because we capture the budgeting by when we put monies in an account. So, for instance, in the POs and invoices, it reflects. Well, we had $1,000 in the Easthampton feed account, and we had whatever. That's basically what our
Right.
budgeting is.
Right, but this is our actual total of invoices expended through the fiscal year, not including the petty cash. This is the total income because petty cash is kept separate from the income that is deposited to the city. So the ending balance for the accounts with the city is actually $3,691.25.
Okay.
That's up to date. That's as of today.
That is as of today.
Wonderful.
Because I received
Good,
no
that's it.
invoices
I
for.
thought we had more than that, that figure that was before.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's a healthy balance there. That's a good balance.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and then if you are curious about the math, that is visible in the bar up where it's not my cursor. You can't see my cursor. You're looking at, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is great.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
there we go.
Hey,
Okay.
well done.
So let's take a quick look, speaking of petty cash, going to this. I still hold a little, I hold those monies that you gave me, Nicole, before, just to.
Right, because I
Um,
gave you $30 from the petty cash
Yeah,
change for the keys
Yep.
at the beginning of the season. I paid that remainder for the outstanding Manchester hardware invoice. That was not
Yeah.
going to be covered by the city. That was something we all voted on. I never
Right.
got any receipts from Karen, so there's nothing in this column.
okay,
And then key deposits, which were collected by you, I don't yet have information
Okay.
on what the total is.
so does that reflect the deposits I receive, or what would reflect if someone turned in a key to retrieve their deposit? How do we,
Have you been keeping track every time you give a key and receive a key?
well, it's just that anyone who produces a key, I mean, we don't have to look back to say, oh, well, we don't have a record of you have. If they produce a key, they get the deposit back.
Right. So
Right.
unless you've been tracking every time you have income or pay back someone while you've been wheeling and dealing with keys, I don't have anything beyond the sum total
I
of the
see.
stuff that you have in your hand.
Okay, so, well, there is an easy way to do it because I can give you the monies that what I'm holding here, and we can subtract out the $30, right? Because that's money you gave me.
Right, but that's already on the budget. Right, so the starting balance for the petty cash at the beginning of the season was $250. And all we have right now is, this should actually be a minus. I gave out 30 to you for change.
Yeah.
I gave out 15 to reimburse myself for a check. I haven't given anything to Karen, and you haven't given me anything
Yes, correct, yeah,
column. So
okay.
if you have a number for the income column, then it will change the ending balance, which right now just reflects the $45 which have been paid out.
Okay. All right, well, we don't have to spend time. So I can give you a number, Nicole, of what I'm holding here so that you can figure that. And like I said, I'm anticipating collecting $5 more from the new person whenever we connect. I did send an email out to them to try to coordinate getting them the key, etc. So, all right. Anyway, so we'll clean this up. Frank says he needs some gasoline money.
Okay,
Well,
well,
I can, yeah, but again, Nicole had told me in the past to just keep a receipt, which will be silly because it's going to be a receipt for like maybe $5 at the most.
no, receipts are important because, so just to remind folks, there's two streams of payment, so to speak. purchase orders and invoices with companies that have a account with the city get paid from the city. But things that are out of pocket expenses, like paying for gasoline, or when somebody goes to Aubuchon and pays out of pocket for something for the donation garden, gets reimbursed out of petty cash. That's why I ask you to save receipts. In all cases, there's a receipt needed, right? The city needs to see the receipt for the expense. And if you're going to be reimbursed from petty cash, we need a receipt for that as well.
Question, can we get accounts with some of those that you just mentioned, like
Well, we
Aubuchon?
have one with, I'm sorry to interrupt, Mark. We have one with Aubuchon.
How about with somebody who supplies gasoline? Can we get an account with them?
They
No.
need to have a vendor. They need to be set up as a vendor with the city. And I
Right.
expect that the gasoline for things like fire trucks, police cars, et cetera, are handled separately by the city.
Okay.
And even that, I mean, it's the cost is nothing, and well, not I don't want to say nothing, but it's minimal. I think, remember, Mark, when we went up to the Flurry Performance, I think the one thing, and we have it, is the other the gasoline additive, which we
Right.
got to put in the mower and in the trimmer
Right.
to winter over. And I'll probably have to stop by there again to get a refresher from those guys, just so I don't do anything wrong.
Is that like a dry gas thing?
Gas and oil?
No, it's just the octane booster, I think.
Oh, it's octane booster. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any event, just to clean it up, I mean, I do have, by my quick count, $94.
All right. So
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
And I do have receipts from where I had the keys made.
okay.
So I can get you I mean, I think what I've done is scan them in the past to you, but I can actually get you the physical
Okay.
receipts if you want, Nicole.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good for long-term record keeping. This is the sort of thing, like, I don't know about what the city's policies are regarding record retention. I know Smith has a policy that records get retained for 7 years, so maybe that's something I should ask about.
Can
Like,
we find out?
7-year rule.
Maybe we can find out.
yeah, definitely.
I keep
Question,
doing-
is there
I
enough
keep
money?
doing it. Good.
Is there enough money in petty cash to cover the gas expenses throughout the summer, Frank?
Easily.
Okay. And
No,
we
that's because it's just the mower mainly,
and we replenish petty cash from time to time. Is that accurate?
Petty cash is replenished through the act of distributing shed keys when people pay a $5 fee for a shed key.
So if we could run out of petty cash once everybody has their keys, it sounds like, and the money's been expended. Is that correct?
That's
Yeah.
correct. The reason the petty cash system works is that people rarely request a reimbursement for their shed key, which they
Right.
are, of course, entitled to.
Of course. And so So,
But it's been 10 years and we've never run out. We haven't even come close to running out.
okay, as long as you're content.
I'm content.
Excellent.
If it gets to the point later on where gas is like $20 a gallon, then we'll talk.
Okay. Cross that bridge when we come to it.
But by then we'll have some cool battery powered mower. It won't matter.
Yeah, that's right. Solar powered, whatever.
Goats, 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 goats.
Goats.
No, they'll eat my beans. No way.
Okay, I think we're pretty much completed the report.
we're
The only
If
thing
we're
I
talking
want to
about
point out,
beans during the treasurer's report, we're done.
yeah. Then you know that we're past it. Nicole, I will only say that the $94 you just put in is not net of the $30 that you gave me. Just so you know. In other words, that $30 is in this 94.
Right.
Okay, so long as you know that.
Yes. No, the math is not adding back in the $30 separately.
Okay.
The math is the total cash that you have in your hand.
Okay. Now you see him, now you don't.
Yep. The rest,
Okay.
the rest of the
Sleight
math,
of hand
of
trick.
course, is here in my house. Like I have, so 207 minus 94 is
Yeah,
what
that's,
I
you should have, right, you should have like $113 or something. Okie dokie. Thank you. We could take the opportunity to adopting the treasurer's report. Is there a motion to that effect?
Move to accept.
Okay, Mark. Second. Anyone else?
No, I second it.
Mark, Frank, okay. Any further discussion? Any questions about the treasurer's report? Seeing and hearing none, all in favor of adoption?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, none. The report is adopted unanimously. Okay. Okay, I'm going to take this down and turn to you, Frank, for operations.
Okay. I did the big weed inspection. And I have sent out an email to all those who failed and left a couple people off, but that's okay because I've been in touch with them, or they know. And I've heard back from one person already who will not be back. So that plot can be mowed. And I'm going to be doing a little bit of mowing this weekend. So I'll probably hit that one. I walked through the plots today, and the other folks who were failed have not done anything with them, but that doesn't surprise me because it's the middle of the week. So I'll probably walk through again on Sunday. I'm just curious, but I got the email out a little bit later, so I extended the deadline to the 17th, I believe. Yeah, which is a Sunday, to see just if they get anything going. And if they don't, then we will assume that they have abandoned the plot and we will mow it. If there's anything we can salvage, we'll salvage it. Then those people will not have, they won't be able to get their plot for the next year, and they'll be put on a waiting list, basically. And that plot goes up for whatever new gardeners there are. The other thing we have to think about is we have a day to clean up and close down everything, bring the hoses in and everything. So that would probably be, I don't know if that falls under my purview, but I'm just going to bring it up anyway. So we have to pick a weekend, which would probably be the 23rd. I was just looking at the calendar, 23rd or the 30th, just to get things cleaned up. But we're gonna, I suspect there are a number of plots that I may just not hear anything from anybody. I might be nice and send another email out by like next Friday before the next weekend, when people might maybe be able to get out and start cleaning up. And then after that, whatever is left, we just mow it. And I think we move on.
Go
ahead.
You notify them, Frank, that they are, again, waitlisted, if you will. Is there a final notice on that?
Yeah, I'll just read the email to you, the last paragraph. Excuse me. We're giving gardeners a little more than 2 weeks to get their plots cleaned up. That means 2 weekends starting this coming weekend, October 9th and 10th. So that's in the front. If the committee sees no attempt to weed the plot by the 17th, we will assume your plot has been abandoned and we will need to mow it. Abandoning a plot means you would have no first option on the plot next season, and you would be placed on a waiting list next year, meaning you would only have a chance at a plot after all new applicants have had their plots assigned.
All right. That's very clear.
If for any reason you have extenuating circumstances, please let me know, and we can see if an accommodation can be made. But 2 weeks should be ample time to remedy the weed problem.
You got it.
So it's not mean, but it's not enabling. And so
I agree.
And that's okay. And look, man, this has been a really tough summer. it has just been so much rain. And like, even when I sent this out, we got 2 more inches of rain. So if the river's up in my neighbor's backyard across the street, that's at least 2 inches of rain. I know that now, but the ground's so saturated. So if you weed right now, like I wouldn't recommend weeding in the next day or two, because you're going to pull up a lot of your dirt with the weeds. It's got to dry out a little bit. It's just been a tough summer, man. I mean, and a lot of the folks that failed are new, and I can understand. And I want to be sympathetic, but we got to get it controlled, or we just got to mow it. And yeah, Nicole, goats would be pretty awesome, but they'd have to be on a very short leash. Very short leash. Other than that, I'll be up. I'm going to start mowing some this weekend. I mean, it's been even hard for me to keep up with the weeds. It's Nicole, you're talking about work, and I think my situation, we're between remote at the community college, or between remote and on-site, and it's a lot more work than being one or the other. So yeah, I've even got behind on my stuff, and it's understandable, but some people, they've just disappeared, and I think that may be the case. No hard feelings, but we got to move on, because we do have 2 new people who have come in, and I think this is something I mentioned in an email just to y'all, but I think this is an interesting policy to think about, is if a plot is obviously abandoned, especially by now, and somebody wants to come in and clean it up and get it ready for next year, and they've committed to next year, I don't have a problem with them not only not having to pay this year, but that's their plot for next year. And I'm not saying there should be a policy. I'm just saying I think this is something we should discuss, because there's a part of it that not only makes sense, but it's also sane.
Yeah, agreed.
Good for us.
What's that?
It's good for us. It's good for the garden.
I think so, because we don't have to get a bunch of people together to clean the plot up or whatever. We have somebody who's actually going to come in a sense, and volunteer to do it, with the understanding that they have preference on that plot next year. And I don't think that's a bad idea. I wish we thought of it before now. To tell you the truth.
Frank, did you send a notice to A12? Do you remember, Joanne?
I'd have to go back and check.
Okay.
Because that one was borderline.
I forgot I don't remember if I shared that Joanne had turned her plot over to my Reed. A new person there, kind of new. They have their own plot, and then my Reed decided they couldn't keep up with it. So Joanne's, maybe it's borderline, because my Reed tried to Mayreed. I don't even know how to pronounce the name.
Is it Mayreed or Mayweed?
It's Mayreed. No, Reed.
Mayreed.
Okay.
Okay, and I don't know if it's a male or a female. I've never met the person.
I had met her.
Okay, it's a woman. All right, good to know. But she was going to take over Joanne's plot.
Yes.
And couldn't keep it up.
Okay.
But Joanne would like to come back. She had to leave because of some
Margie, can I? Yeah, I'm hold on one second, because you're getting into your report, which is, I think, what we're.
But it's related to what Frank is.
Yeah, it's a little bit related. I can see. So, as long as Margie, as long as we stay, just let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can make sure that if Joanne's coming back, like if she was just gone for this summer or whatever, or, and somebody was going to take the plot and kind of hold it for her or maintain it, and they didn't do it, then we can work with that. That's not a problem. I just need to know that, so that when I finally just, tell you all, okay, it looks like these people have abandoned a plot versus these who haven't, that, you know, she's not on the abandoned list, so to speak.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So yeah, we're gonna have to think of we have to pick a day to do some cleanup, and it's pretty minimal really. It's gonna be mostly hoses if nothing else.
Do people want to? Should we do that now?
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Yeah, just to get.
I think that I'll vote for the 30th.
Okay.
Nice clean end of the month type of thing.
You know, we will supposedly have had a frost by then. We'll see.
The 30th is Saturday.
Saturday.
And does this go out to the whole community?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because there's things that can be done. We'll be able to. We can generate a list.
Yeah, if there's tasks that I could do a couple things beforehand because I'm going to be gone that weekend, but you know, I don't want to shirk my duties.
Oh, sure. You know, because, you know, the hoses will need to come in and really, you know, we'll look at what the forecast is because we really don't want the hoses to freeze. So, you know, things can change, as we know, up here fairly quickly.
Frank, can I ask a related question on the hoses?
Sure.
Spring, we were going to do a hose assessment and sprinkler head assessment and see if we need any replacing. Did we ever do that?
No.
Okay. Is this a time to do it, or do you want to wait till next spring again?
Oh, I would love to kick the can down the road. It's probably not the best idea, but
Well,
we really didn't need to water anything.
Yeah, it's true. We didn't need the hoses this year.
But no, Mark, in all seriousness, we need to do that.
Well, I just look at
hoses
it.
really aren't as much of a problem as a lot of the.
I just look at it, and I found if somebody had bought some hoses, because I found one in the shed and I replaced the one at the station near my garden,
Yeah.
and it works better. But I don't know if anybody else had any problems having a.
Well, we didn't do kind of a comprehensive official type of review, which we should have. On the one hand, on the other hand, when I did put them out in the spring, actually I think that we're in really that we got the hoses are in pretty good shape, generally speaking. I did go out and buy, as I indicated, a new one, which I like a lot. So I don't think we're in bad shape hose-wise. Then again, we haven't had much of an opportunity to use them and test them. And we have new heads too. And I believe we still have new heads that aren't even out in use yet. So
Did you purchase those, Stephen? Is that how they?
I purchased one, heavy duty one, but we got a donation of a couple of kind of like plastic ones. I mean, they're fine. They're just, you don't have an expectation about how long they'll last.
How long they'll last? Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think we're in bad shape. But we did agree that we were going to do that, but I do think we're in. And we have I think 3 or 4 hoses at least that are kind of a spare ones right now. So right now we have spare hoses.
Well, I'm also thinking about all the tools in the shed because it seems like there may be some need to replace some. And I know there's some broken items that are sitting there by the door that either should be discarded or repaired.
I'm about to have our newest member, Jacob, join us here. I just sent him an email to see come in so we can get to say hello to him.
Jacob, welcome.
Hello, Jacob.
Hey, Jacob.
Hey, hello. How's it going?
Thank you.
Jacob.
I take it you saw my last minute type of, I said, I was thinking I haven't, let's get him in here.
I did. Thanks for the reminder. I totally blanked on that, but glad that I can join tonight.
Yeah, you aren't the only one. I remembered about 2 hours before. I mean, my phone would have reminded me, but it's been kind of a crazy week.
Yeah. For you and me both.
Okay.
I wouldn't be here if I hadn't run into Frank at the garden because I forgot to.
Well, this is not good. But then again, fortunately, Jacob, we really don't have many more meetings. We probably have one more meeting left. So
we have another meeting left.
Yeah, we do this just to kind of for purposes of keeping operations, intact, etc. Although in the beginning part of the year, it's a good idea for everyone to all the plot holders to meet each other particularly since we've been, ever since COVID, we've been, less kind of all collectively in person and more collectively on Zoom. So we did have almost all, I think, of our plot members, or at least a good deal, at our April or May meeting. I can't remember which now.
Yeah, that was a good meeting.
But I just thought since you came in later, you have an opportunity to at least meet some of us. And these are the folks who basically, and everyone's a volunteer, take on some part. So I take on being the secretary. Nicole, who's to your right by my screen in the stripes, is the treasurer. Frank, to the right of her, is operations. We just heard Frank's report. He just sent out letters to people who have profuse weeding to be done in their gardens, that they have a deadline.
Yeah, I'm the weed inspector.
He's the.
I think, Jacob, you're next to me, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Oh, am I? Did I pass the test?
Are you in C7?
I'm in the plot that is freshly turned over. I don't know what plot I'm in.
You are in C.
Yeah.
C7.
Yeah,
that's
no.
right.
You're
That
Too
was
low for me.
totally fast. I'm next to you, and I need to get in there. I was up there today, and I got my own weeding to do. So.
Yeah, I got some things planted last minute. I don't know how much is going to come out of the ground before the frost, but at the very least, I got 3 radishes yesterday, so I call that a success.
Hooray.
We know what you had. We know what you had for dinner then tonight. There we go.
Yeah.
Radish
Yeah, right.
stew. Okay, so to continue over, Margie, by my viewing, Margie is to your left. Margie is internal outreach. And to her left is Eric, who's external outreach through, he does like our Facebook page, for those who are still on Facebook, not me. And then Mark is the community garden, the donation garden rather, head, and he handles that part, and I just do the delivery every Monday and Wednesday. And actually, I'll just mention before we get to Mark's report, that it won't show, but we got an incredible donation from Laura of her peppers.
Oh.
I brought 5 large bags of Laura's peppers to the community center on Monday. I mean, I've never seen so many peppers. I don't know. It's incredible.
Yeah, Jacob, just so you know, Laura Fisher, her grandfather is the one who had donated the land that we have, where we have the gardens now. And she has a farm now on Lovefield Street over near the Audubon property. So she has a lot of peppers. Yeah.
And Don Don contributed a whole bunch of beautiful carrots. Eric, I think I sent you the photo of those, if I'm not mistaken.
I think I saw those on the Facebook.
Absolutely beautiful. So that was nice. Yeah, so we'll talk about this more, Jacob, probably in the beginning of the year. But we do strongly encourage people to contribute so that we can bring things to the community center. And that's why you'll see those 2 blue coolers by the side of the shed. That's where you can kind of put that stuff. And we do have a plot where we grow things. That's what Mark kind of handles and I in terms of, but realistically, it's pretty modest when we're just doing that. So we do need desired contributions. So we're right in the middle of Frank's report. I think, although toward the end, Frank, had you concluded your operations report?
Yeah, I'm done. If there's something else I think of, I'll bring it up later before we.
Okay, so let's bring us over to Margie. We do have, Jacob's the new gardener, and we have one other newer gardener now, I think.
Sure. We have David, who is now in A11.
Yes.
And he has the same deal as Jacob. He's not being charged because he said seemed very eager to come in and start working as soon as possible. I haven't noticed if he has.
I
didn't see any signs today when I was walking.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm trying to connect with him so that he can get a key. So yeah, he's right next to me.
Okay, and then Deb Friedman in B3 was gardening with Ariana, who's leaving, and she found someone else to share her plot, Susan Flash.
Yeah, I met her today. She was turning over part of it. Her name is Susan, I believe.
Yeah, Susan Flash. And they sent me the application, and I asked them to bring it to the community center because I don't want to do that. And I just remembered that I got an email from Dawn, who is going to be leaving us.
Oh, Dawn's gonna go?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, and Frank just told me, and Dawn is in B1, so that's going to be open.
Okay.
And Frank just let me know that Eliana in B4 is leaving also. I haven't heard anything. So that's going to be open too.
Those are good plots that are up near the parking area for people who may have mobility issues too.
Yeah, and there's not much more to say really at this time of year. Oh, one thing, I got a couple of emails requesting wood chips. And Frank, I know we had talked about that.
Yeah.
So,
Hold on, I'm looking at something.
I
Yeah,
think
no.
Laura was going to look into it, but I don't know if anybody's heard anything.
No, and I didn't get a hold of her. That's my fault. I dropped the ball.
I'll send her an email.
You know, I think are you gonna, if you email her, that's great. I'm gonna end up talking to Greg Nuttleman in DPW, just because I know I take things to the brush dump here, and they have like a mountain of mulch.
Yeah.
And there's a front end loader up there every weekend, and that front end loader goes back downtown right around noon. So they could easily fill that thing up with wood chips and hang a left. Maybe, well, no, they probably couldn't drive it like that on the road. Anyway, there's a lot of wood chips that end up at the dump, at the brush dump up there, and somebody could probably make a detour and dump some for us. But I think for now, I should probably work with Laura because she's got a couple connections with different landscaping companies.
Yeah, I was up there last Saturday. There's a ton of wood chips, and I was actually talking to the guy about seeing whether or not someone could just, drop a load off for us. But anyhow,
You were up at the brush dump?
yes,
Yeah.
on Oliver Street. So yeah, we should get those. So Jacob, you can see that over the course of a summer, we have some people who that cannot keep up their plots, and that's how you came in, and we do bring people in to kind of take them over. So that's kind of a constant, and this year particularly because of all the wet weather was very challenging.
Jacob, did you just move into the area, or have you been here?
Yeah, no, I just moved in. So I'm working in East Longmeadow. I'm originally from Groton, Massachusetts, but just moved into Easthampton. I've been here for just over a month.
All right, so you've been in the States, so you know how much rain we had this summer.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I think 1 week back in Groton, we had tornado warning, then a hurricane, and then another tornado warning all in 1 week. It was crazy.
Wow.
That's not normal.
No.
It's the new normal, Frank. It is normal.
It's the new normal.
It's the
There
new
is
normal,
no
not the
normal.
old normal. It's the new normal. Well, welcome to Easthampton too. And also, Don is looking for an apartment in Easthampton if anyone runs into one. 2 bedrooms at least, hopefully.
Okay, Dawn, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Margie, that's
Nothing more to say, really.
okay. Eric, we'll move to you and external outreach.
Yep, I've been posting the photos that you've been sending me in email. I've been sending the minutes and relinking everything that you've been sending. When you send out the reminder of the meetings, I do a couple casual reminders to tell people to come to the meetings. Like I said, I accidentally put the wrong link, but I tried. I took some photos this week and posted them, and it was pretty nice. So Yeah, it's still averaging like one post a week.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Good work.
Keeps it nice and fresh.
Yep.
Okay. Mark,
Yeah.
our donation.
Donation garden. Yeah. It's, in spite of all the questionable weather, it has been, I'd say, a decent year in some ways for the donation garden. I think we weren't totally wiped out of not getting anything at all, as some of the gardens experienced where they had very little production. But we're kind of at the end of our season now. We've harvested most of what's in there. But this year we're able to contribute green beans, cucumbers, cherry tomatoes, and Swiss chard, and kale, and
basil.
Good. And basil. Although did you put some of that into the bin, Stephen? Because I did, or maybe I did. Can't remember. Yeah, we had some of that Thai basil that I think Laura donated that, right? I think
it's beautiful. I actually know. I just harvested it, and on a Monday. So you wouldn't have seen what I did in the bin. I just did.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad, because it's just there, and if somebody doesn't harvest it, it won't be used. In any case, it's been, I think, given the circumstances, it's been a decent year. One of the downsides, I think, has been just with everybody being so busy and all, we really didn't have much volunteer contribution to that, other than Jen Burrell helped me at the beginning, and Stephen, you helped me with a few items as well. But I think that's an area of going forward we need to kind of build up as our volunteer basis to kind of keep that plot in good shape. I've done some, but not as much as I would have liked to, just because I have my own plot and the rest of my life like all of you. So a good thing I would recommend, I don't know that it'll fit into place or if it makes any sense, but if we wanted to keep doing donation gardens and it works out, I would recommend adding a second plot, because I think we could do more if we had the space. But right now it's just that one plot, and it is limited in terms of what we can produce on an annual basis. So that's my thought on that. And I guess the donations this year have not been exceptional either, because people have not had much to donate with all the bad weather and the reduced production. That's sad, and we understand. Hopefully next year will be better. But it does require some effort, and I think if we get at least a small crew of people assigned, I don't know how we check on people, how they're filling their jobs and all that, but it would be good to kind of know if
I was just wondering about that. Does anyone keep track of people's community service?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Required hours?
No, because we haven't had anybody to really coordinate that this year.
Because if I had a bunch of names, I guess I would feel fine about contacting folks and just reminding them, if they showed some interest in helping in the donation garden, that there's some weeding that needs to be done, or whatever it might be to enhance that plot.
How about if I send out a community email and ask people to donate email you if they need to make up community service hours?
Right, because I think cleaning up the plot right now in preparation for next year would be the thing to be done. I'm working on my own, as are many of us. But yeah, it needs some increased amount of weeding.
Yeah, that'd be great. There is some squash still left, but it doesn't look like, it should get a lot bigger, I think.
Yeah, they're just little babies. I think squash in general doesn't do too well in this particular area. And maybe some folks have better luck, but I think Margie and I agree that it's not the best area soil-wise and maybe it's just because there's too much moisture and not enough drainage. I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah. So you're right. They're just little baby squashes.
Well, I will once they're harvested. That's pretty much it for the garden.
That's about it. You're right. There might be a little bit of kale. I know you harvested some of that. There might be a little bit of that, a little bit of Swiss chard left. But you're right. It's basically. Oh, and I think there are some turnips which I will put in it's taken them a long time to mature, but I think we might have something that we can share.
I think we've got beets. I've been watching them. They're just so small.
I think those are turnips, actually.
You think they kind of look pretty red?
Oh, okay. Where are they located? What part of the garden? Not near the beans, right? Not in the same area as the beans, right?
I think so, but on the left. Any event, I've been watching them, but
Oh,
it just
they're baby beets.
they're baby.
Well,
Cute.
anyway, we've done as well as we could, and thanks to anybody who's been able to contribute something to the cooler.
Okay.
So, Mark, if you happen to get a number of people who, I mean, this seems to me unlikely, who email you and say they need community service hours, then you can recommend that they join us on October 30th to help.
Exactly. And maybe we can clean up various things. It could be the hoses and the sprinklers, and we could do some weeding in the donation garden. Oh, and we could also haul up some of those items behind the shed, which I have said I was going to, but I haven't done anything because it's a mess back there.
Yeah.
And a few extra hands would really help with that. And then I think, Margie, you have a person who might be able to help us transport that to a place where we could get rid of it. I think that's what I heard. So anyway, things to be done. Okay, Stephen, back to you.
Thank you. One little footnote I just thought of, Jacob, because you weren't around for Nicole's report on the finances. We always include in the minutes now a link so that anyone at any point in time, if you go into them, can click on that and see where the finances are at any given moment. So instantaneous. The last report would have been Karen's from our pollinator garden, but she does not seem to be present. And I don't know if anyone's noticed. She reported last time. I don't know if there's anything new.
I don't know.
No, and I have plants that I can donate, but I can heal them in. Some of them are still in the ground, and I'm leaving them there. This season's too weird. And the things I have potted, I can heal them in for the winter and put them under leaves. I have a lot of black-eyed Susans and phlox. I can just transfer next year. My garden at my house has become a nursery for those things, and I don't mind a little bit of them, but it's gotten out of control. Yeah, so I'll be able to hook her up with that, but that's yeah, that plot. There was something I talked about with Laura too, and it's something we could think about because some of the plots really need new soil. Like we could think about a soil delivery.
I agree. They become depleted of minerals, and I think that's why they're not producing.
Well, they just settled. I mean, like for Jacob, I was going to talk. Jacob, I know a lot of history about your plot because I've had mine since the beginning, and it was just 10 years. But your plot is one it could really use some, like a good 2 yards of soil added to it.
Yeah, I noticed that the back end kind of dips down and it gets really wet there.
Yeah, and I have some idea. I know how things are now. This year taught me a lot about. I don't want to hijack the meeting. You and I can talk, but I have some ideas for drainage that I think would help that quadrant of plots right there. But yeah, no, the pollinator plot I think is that's something that. I mean, I have a couple of things, and I know she's got some more ideas too.
How about testing the quality of the soil? Could we do some soil testing? Would that be useful to see what the soil might need?
Yeah,
my girlfriend actually is a plant science major. We graduated this past spring, and she hooked me up with some soil tests. So I've been meaning to do that for my plot. I could do it elsewhere in the
That'd
garden
be great.
too.
Yeah, we could meet and see what's involved. I'd be happy to be part of that.
Yeah, totally.
And we had, when Rick, who was a master gardener, was with us, he had hooked up with the extension at UMass because they'll do soil tests as well.
Yeah, that's great. That's a good idea, Mark, to get that done so we know. And a
we
good
know,
timing.
we know what we need. If we need more compost, which we always get,
yeah.
but maybe there's other nutrients that the soil.
Oh, you might just need some lime. you know,
Yeah.
maybe the
Which is
PA
which is the time. This is a good time to do it because if it's Lyme, this is the time to put that in. I think. Jacob, just so you know, at the beginning of each season, we typically do purchase compost collectively. So next year you'll be able to participate in that. We do that. And in terms of the pollinator garden, this is the second year that we've kind of had a garden, and it's kind of a new thing, but it's really good. So I'm hoping that it's getting there. I mean, slowly but
the
surely.
beginning of the year was flooded
It was flooded, yeah.
the rain, and we had a leak in the pump house, which is now fixed, thanks to DPW.
Yeah, they did a great job.
That's one of the year highlights, the pump house. Anyway, I think that is our agenda, unless there's a new business item that we have not discussed yet. Is there anything new that has not been discussed?
I have it's an idea, and we can throw it to the next meeting. We can maybe put it on the agenda, but a lot of the people who abandoned the plots this year were first year. Well, I'm making assumptions, actually, I should say. It appears that a lot of plots, and we have talked about this in the past about instead of a $20 fee, a $40 fee for first time, new gardeners.
Changing.
I'm sorry, Nicole, what?
Are we allowed to make decisions about changing the fee?
About what the plots would be? Yeah, we're the committee. That's what we do. We have a little muscle for that. Yeah, no, we're the ones that decide the cost. Like if we decided right now we should raise the cost to $25 a plot, we could vote on it and it would be approved.
I can tell you that $40 will exclude a lot of low income.
I know, and that's why I'm just bringing it up, and we can. We don't have to get into discussion of it now. It's just that, those plots are going to they're going to have to be tilled probably. We have to mow them, and someone has to do it, and the machine, the mower and the gas and all that. I just feel like, with $20, there are a number of people who that's how they look at it. Oh, it's $20, whatever. And we never see them again. So it's just, I want to plant a seed for a further discussion. And we've talked about this before, but there's a lot of plots. I just have a feeling we're going to end up with a lot of plots we're going to have to mow this year.
Well, we could do something like what Northampton, people who live in town.
Oh, lost you, Margie.
Yeah, we lost your volume.
Marge, your mic faded out a
I
little
think
bit.
it touched something.
What happened?
There you go.
That's better.
Okay. Well, we could do something like other community gardens do. People who are on financial aid, who get cash benefits from the Department of Transitional Assistance, they can get they can pay a lower fee than other people. That's what other community gardens do. I've done that in the past at Northampton. I was on welfare when I was raising my kids, and I think I got one plot free. I paid, but if we don't do that, we don't give people 2 or 3 or 4 plots, but we could keep it at 20 for some people and maybe raise it to 25, 30. I think doubling it seems like a lot to me, but raising it to 30 for those who can afford it.
Yeah.
We can talk about that.
I think this does bear a lot more discussion, and I would agree that putting on next meeting's agenda would be helpful.
Yeah, I think so too, because it's 8:15 now. But I would like to revisit it, and because just having mentioned it, you bringing up that whole perspective, Margie, is really valuable. And no, it's just a discussion I want to have, because the whole spirit of this is to make it affordable.
Okay.
Right.
But we just got to be able to, actually I mean, I was walking through a neighborhood, walking my dog a couple of weeks ago, and we were just started up a conversation with this guy out in his yard. And he was kind of a cranky old man, but I mentioned something about, you know, the rain. We were complaining about the rain and weeds, and I'm like, yeah, I'm up at the community garden. He goes, oh, you mean the weed farm?
Oh, we got a reputation now.
Wow.
Yeah, and I
Ow,
thought
ow,
about
ow.
putting that in my email out about the failed inspections, but I figured it'd be a little bit too hard. But yeah, and if you really, unfortunately, a lot of the plots that appear like they're going to be abandoned are all the ones right on the road where anybody driving by can see, and they can't see everything that's behind. So. Yeah, I know. I just I don't want to belabor the conversation because it's late, but
Yeah.
it's something I think we should keep discussing.
Okay. Well, I agree. We have taken up. We've noted it as a new business item to be taken up again.
Good.
Any other new business item for now or for next time?
I just have a quick question. Has a seed library ever been discussed? I think that would be pretty cool. It might be late this season, but
There are kind of two seed libraries already in existence. One of them is at the Easthampton Library.
okay.
I'm unsure about the status of Emily Williston Library's hours to the public at this point. But there is a seed library in the local book library and other resource library.
So what does that mean, a seed library? They
So
give
the-
you seeds?
That's the point of the seed library, is like there are seeds you can take and leave and take seeds. You're not expected to return them.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
There's no fines, late fines.
You didn't wash these seeds before you brought them back.
If I'm not mistaken, Ben Lesko was part of the group that ensured that would exist in the local library.
No. I'm sorry, Nicole. You said there were two.
Yeah, I was gonna say the other option is at the beginning of the season of our garden, there's usually some available seeds that people bring in.
And put them where? I've never seen it.
Well, we also had I know when Laura was on the committee, she would just contact seed companies, tell them we were a nonprofit, and if they had any seed donations, and we would get seeds.
Yeah.
The University of Rhode Island has something that they do through the job lot stores, and they'll just give you seeds. So URI has an outreach program also. University of Rhode Island has an outreach program also. We can just contact them for seeds. I'll look into that and see if we can get some.
Yeah. Well, I think, Jacob, you raised it because you had an idea yourself about what you'd be interested in doing. So, I mean, I think it's good for you to hear what, to maybe check out the Williston Library, Emily Williston Library, see what they have. But also, did you want to flesh out a little bit about what you had in mind?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's really no point in creating a separate seed library for just the Easthampton Community Garden and be super selective like that. But it's really good to know that there are a couple of seed gardens in the area. I think it'd be great to, grow your crops. And then at the end of the season, if there are some seeds that you want to donate and kind of keep the seeds local and heirloom, I think that concept is really cool.
Yeah.
To learn more about that.
I don't think it's a bad idea to have our own, because I think there's a lot of folks who would participate if it was in our own garden, but wouldn't take the time to go to a library.
Mm-hmm.
Would need some coordination, however.
We can put that on our new business, maybe.
Sure.
I like the idea. I always have seeds, and I always have way too many.
Well, I will. We'll pick it up next time, but I will note that I'm prepared to nominate Jacob for the
He's got a new job already.
to head that up. Okay.
Careful, Jacob, careful.
He's a
Seed
man.
committee.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I think there is some you know, there is some value in it because, like, for me, who likes to grow, you know, seeds for beans for dry beans, I know which ones work well up here and which don't. And especially at our garden, because our garden has it has its own microclimate. It really does. And there are certain beans that I've grown that just don't do well, and other ones that thrive. So, you know, you think of peppers and any other vegetable. I mean, this year is kind of it's an outlier in a way.
You the bean guy? Do you have the beans going up
Yeah.
10 feet?
Yes,
up?
I do.
He's
He's the main guy.
Those were I grew those for the first time this year, and they actually they went the 16 feet they said they would. I could only go up 12, but they kept going. Yeah,
Flopping over.
those are from
Impressive.
Spain, and they're awesome.
Yeah, that's
Well,
Frank.
I don't know if they taste awesome. But
We'll find out.
my first year with them this year, but they're beautiful. They were fun.
And you know, also, I have so many marigold seeds. And when I use the marigold seeds from the garden, I get these enormous marigold plants. And when I buy them, even organic ones from somewhere else, they never get that big.
Mm.
So they really like to be where they've been born.
That's the idea.
Marigolds are good. They keep out insects.
Yeah, marigolds are awesome.
Okay, is there anything else that we haven't covered? Otherwise, if there's a motion to adjourn, we could take that up.
I will just remind people, if you want strawberries, come and see me. Email me. I have so many, and I'm digging them up.
I saw a bit.
There's a box in your garden, Mark. Take what you want.
Oh, I thank you. I'm preparing my where I had my tomatoes this year. I'm going to put strawberries in, so that's great.
Eric, I'm trying to keep them out of your plot.
It's okay. That whole border is pretty much gone anyway. So
They like to wander.
Oh, I've been working on it. I'm working
Yeah.
on it.
Well, I'll look over too if I can stuff a couple of more into mine. But but thank you so much for the donation. Okay, is there a motion?
Yeah.
Our motion that we adjourn.
Margie moves, Frank seconds.
Second.
Nice to meet you, Jacob.
Hey, Jacob, I'll try and be in touch with you in the next couple of weeks.
All right, sweet. Great to
Yeah,
meet
maybe
you
I'll
all.
see you up at the garden.
Yeah. Okay. All in favor of adjourning? Aye.
Bye.
Ooh,
None. We are adjourned at 8:23.
see you out there.
See you. Good seeing you,
Good
Nicole.
month. See you guys out there.
Y'all be well.